What I've got behind me is Lexus IS300, which only came as the automatic. It is 2JZ, and what we're going to do in the next 3 episodes, we are going to take the automatic gearbox out, we're going to modify the IS200 gearbox, and then in the last episode we're going to put it all back together and have a manual 2JZ. It is a non-turbo, but it's still a 2J. We're going to have a 2JZ IS300. So let's have a look what we've got and what we're dealing with. The auto box is leaking, so it's quite nice we're changing it. So we're going to undo the prop, we're going to undo it all the way because we're going to be changing it. And normally you just maybe undo the front and sort of put it on the side to gain access. I'm going to try and leave the exhaust in because why not. Then we've got the hydraulics for the cooler. This looks a bit squashed, so undo those, undo the wiring. There's the gear changer or gear lever. Then the torque converter through the inspection hole here. Some cars you have to take the starter out, but obviously you have to undo it anyway because it sort of holds the gearbox on it. And then just undo the bell housing bolts and hopefully slide it out. And obviously, yeah, first thing I forgot, we need to drain the gearbox. Let's get started. After draining the oil, we're gonna undo the torque converter. You need to spin the engine and undo all, I think it's 5 or 6 12mm bolts. Now we're going to lower the gearbox 14 mils from the gearbox mount and just undo quickly the gear changer, gear lever, so we can lower it, get to the wiring and the hydraulics. with the transmission undone, we can put the jack under the front of the engine and jack up the front to gain access to the top bell housing bolts and the wiring. Bearing in mind these are generally all filled, so not too much, otherwise the engine mounts are going to fail. So I think that should be just about enough. I think it would give us more access if we undid the exhaust, but it's just something that I don't want to touch if I don't have to, because generally speaking it's all rusted up and the bolts are going to snap. So this should give us enough room to get the wiring and the hydraulics off, as well as the dipstick, and then we can start undoing the bell housing bolts. All the bolts on the top are undone. I left these 4 that are easily accessible. If you undo all of them on an automatic transmission, the chances are the gearbox is just going to fall out and kill you. So you always want to leave 3 or 4 at the bottom or somewhere where you can easily access them when you put the transmission jack underneath. And I'm going to undo the mount as well, just to sort of give us more access around the exhaust, and then hopefully after that we can just take the transmission out. That's how it normally ends, tools on the floor. And we've got 2 more things to do. We're gonna undo the flex plate. It's not a flywheel because it's an automatic. And then the gear lever changer, so we can actually put the gear stick through when we put the manual back in. The first phase of IS300 manual project is done. I hope you enjoyed the video. You know the deal, like, subscribe, check out all the links under the video if you can, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.